Hello everyone, my name's Steph, I'm Botanist Cool, and today we are painting some Helldiver minis. If you guys are enjoying my mini painting videos and my mini building videos, make sure to like and subscribe. It's the best way to support me. It's free, it's easy, just 2 clicks, and yeah, I couldn't thank you all enough for your support. Anyways, let's get on to the rest of the video. I have been working on these minis for a while, and by working on them, I mean I've touched them a few times. I just got really annoyed with them for a few reasons. There's a lot of unique difficulties with these specific minis that I have that I don't have with all the other minis. First and foremost is the detail of the mini itself. This is a 3D printed mini, and it looks pretty darn good. I'm not going to deny that. However, it is nowhere near as detailed as a WizKids or a Games Workshop mini. First and foremost, they're like a little shorter than your standard Space Marine as an example, and even without the height difference, there is a level of detail and depth that these minis do not have that make it extremely hard to paint, and I mean extremely hard to paint. The smaller Tyranid Ripper Swarm that I did was actually a lot easier to get a hold on, to really get my edge with the brush on and really paint, because the parts were really well segmented, really well differentiated, and made with a solid amount of depth that I could paint them very easily. There are a couple of these minis, like the Terminid underneath the Helldiver's boots and the flag bearer is holding, that do have these strong details on them where it's very easy to find the edges, paint the edges, and understand where the colors go and how they interact with the rest of the mini. However, that is the minority of the parts of the minis. The other parts are all very molded in together. Like, you take a look at the edges on the shoulders and they're less than a nail's width away from one another, and it is annoying. You can't do edge highlighting on them. You might be able to do dry brushing, but in all reality you're probably not, because even if you're doing a very light dry brushing, you're going to essentially hit all the planes very equally because there isn't a significant depth between the parts that are supposed to have depth. The second part is color. The armor of a Helldiver is this metallic plastic black instead of a matte black, which matte black on matte black is not going to look great, so I ended up having to use a bit of a different color, a Mechanicus gray from Citadel, on the armor. And it looks good, don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't ring that Helldiver's vibe to me, because I know it's supposed to be this metallic black that is slightly different from the matte black of the cloth underneath the armor itself. Not everything can be perfect, so I gotta kind of live with it, but it's a-okay. I ended up using Citadel's Averland Sunset and Stormhost Silver to do some details. The Stormhost Silver was meant to take the insignias on the chest and the arms to make it a little bit brighter and a little more obvious. The Averland Sunset is for the yellows alongside the cloth and on parts of the armor itself. I used a little bit of Lead Belcher for some parts of the armor that had metallic vibes that were not as bright as the actual insignias. And lastly, I used a little bit of Uniform Gray from Army Painter War Paints in order to get some details on the gun to make the gun pop out a little bit more. The magazine, the stock, and some areas on the top that just kind of needed a little bit of differentiation to be like, hey, this gun has multiple parts to it and it's not just one really flat segment, which it does look like it even with multiple colors, because again, the definition and the detail and the depth is not great on the mini. Now, to be absolutely fair to the mini, I am still learning a whole bunch about having a steady hand and properly painting things. So when it comes to areas like the helmet, I do have a slightly harder time when it comes to doing the stripes down the helmet and making those straight lines. I have considered using stuff like floss as an example before, and I have used it on other occasions to try and make very similar straight lines. Alas, it didn't work that time, and I wasn't confident it worked this time either. And also, it's fucking yellow. Yellow's a hard color to paint with. It is insanely difficult to paint with. I know Sandleford was like saying, Steph, it's gonna be a hard color to use. You're gonna have to get used to it. You just have to recognize yellow's gonna be a bitch to use. I'm like, yeah, that's fair enough. So it's a toughie. It's a toughie in terms of I'm painting really small things on a really undefined mini with no depth or like actual like way of knowing where I'm painting, how I'm painting, etc. It's a tough mini, and I need the skills to paint them better. So while I'm having fun with them and I'm a little annoyed at them, I'm having fun with them and I'm a little annoyed with them. There's no, that's it. That's it. But overall, I got a lot of the yellow edging done for 3 of the minis. Not fully done on the flag bearer because I was just kind of getting a little annoyed and I really wanted to actually play Helldivers, which I did just a few moments later on stream. But I got a lot of that yellow edge highlighting done. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to do some of it off stream as well because it is a little boring and it is time consuming. And I do want to get to a lot of the other cooler stuff, like eventually getting to the Terminids and doing a lot of the detailing work and whatnot. I do plan on eventually washing these guys, getting a full wash on them. And then I do plan on doing some very vague and specific highlights on certain areas, like the insignias with the silver again. Because in all reality, I don't have a lot of space to do a lot of highlights, as I was saying before, not even with dry brushing, so what are you gonna do? However, I am excited to see how the official Helldivers minis comes out, and I would love to paint those 100%. If someone went like, Steph, I am going to commission you to paint those, I'd be like, listen, I don't take commissions, but I will take a commission now. I will paint that now, please and thank you. I want to see these minis. I want to see how good they are, and I will do my gosh darnest best to make them good. I need to get the official Helldivers minis, but that's like hundreds of dollars. I ain't got hundreds of dollars, y'all. What the fuck? That's why you should get me to 1,000 subscribers so I can get money from ads, and then I can buy Helldivers minis. Anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you very much for joining in with me today. I had a fantastic day and a fantastic time painting. I hope you all enjoyed watching them. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It's the absolute best way to support me. It's free, it's easy, and it's 2 clicks. Please and thank you. If you want to support me more intimately, you can always take a look at the throne. Do not feel obligated to, however. And yeah. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with me today. I hope you had a good one. Y'all stay safe, stay Botanist Cool, and I will see you soon. Bye, everyone!